Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is our wonderful, thankful Thursday. I am Dr. Samantha DeLoache, your modeling pharmacist and professional speaker coach. And this is public speaking in business. And I've had such great pleasure doing this conversation I've been having with multiple entrepreneurs. And if you tuned in earlier today, I had a great conversation at 1 o'clock. So it's on my page. Make sure you review it. But now I have another great talk that's happening at 6. But as always, I have to let you all know that the Model Speakers Academy is launching this month. And so I'm going to be hosting several webinars throughout the month so that you can actually listen in on what the Model Speakers Academy has to offer and, refer other people who may benefit from the Model Speakers Academy because my goal is to help everyone speak publicly and be able to do it from a comfortable place, confident place, and realize that your voice matters. All of our voices matter. We all have something to share. We all have a story, but many of us don't know how to shape that story, how to put that out there. So that's what the Model Speakers Academy is here to do, to help you formulate your stories, to help guide you in the process. And I'm just really excited about it. And just in case you didn't know, the model stands for motivate, organize, deliver, engage, and lead. And that's what we all can do. We all are models. We all are modeling something. So why not model yourself? Why not model confidence? Why not model your brand? So that's what the Model Speakers Academy is all about. But enough about that. I'm so, so excited. I have the pleasure of having Regina LaFrance here with me today. And I actually met her in the Bahamas when I did my medical missionary trip this about 2, 3 weeks ago. So it's just amazing how you can connect with people and, hear their story, hear what they have to share, and just how we all can come together. And so I was so excited to invite her on, and she graciously accepted. So I'm just overjoyed. I hadn't seen her since we just saw each other in the Bahamas. So welcome, Regina. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me here with you today and all your
Absolutely.
viewers and your listeners and mine as well.
Absolutely. So, Regina, tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, what you have going on. Share it with the viewers.
So I live in North Carolina and I am now working on a project that has been a dream of mine for over 50 years. I grew up in Portugal. I'm going to back up a little. Grew up in Portugal in a small island in the Azores and had a wonderful childhood. Have wonderful memories of when I was little, and my nickname was Ladybug, and that was because I was always outside with my father working on the farm, and he compared me to a ladybug because I was small and had long dark hair, and he told me that I was the cutest ladybug that he had ever seen. Unfortunately, when I was 10 years old, I was exposed to a very difficult situation where we had a person in the village of power that took advantage of me and hurt me very badly. And starting at a very young age of 10, he told me that I was no ladybug. He told me I was a cockroach and that I was stupid and ugly, and that if I ever told my father, he would never believe me. Unfortunately, being so young and innocent, I believed him. And for over 40 years, I didn't have any confidence and I lived a life of sadness. Even though I was always an overachiever and I always accomplished a lot of things in my professional life, I never had any confidence and always had self doubt and was always living a life in chaos in my mind.
Wow.
So I discovered my voice in 2015 when I witnessed a little girl cry to her mom that she didn't want to go to summer camp that year. And at that moment, I had a vivid memory of me asking my mother not to let me go to music lessons. But my mother, not knowing anything, she told me I had to go. So that little girl didn't want to go to summer camp after so many years of having gone. And I had the chills, and I said to myself, there's something going on. There's a reason why that little girl didn't want to go. That night in 2015, I was 55 years old. I called my best friend and I asked my best friend to come to my house, and I told her my secret. And that was the first time that I told anyone about what had happened. And my friend told me that night that I had to write it down because it was just not, it's not a story that it's any more difficult than other people's stories. It's just different. It's a bit different. It's unusual what did happen. And I started writing it, but in 2015 I didn't have the confidence to write a book. I did write it, but I never did anything with it. And about 4 years ago, I was at a function and I met this lady who's now a very good friend of mine, Rhonda. And I asked her what she did for a living, and she said she was a book editor. And I said, "Oh, maybe someday you can edit my book." And she said, "Yes, I'll be glad to." And she said, "When can we meet?" I said, "When can you come?" She said, "I'll be over tomorrow." And that was the day that she said, "You got to start today."
Wow.
And I
Wow.
did. I put everything aside. Even my own husband did not know.
Mm,
And when I started writing and letting at first my friends know,
mm,
I immediately began to feel better about myself. I had let go of that burden of keeping that secret, and people started to talk about it with me. And at first, I didn't want to tell them it was me. I told them that it was a little girl I knew, but they
mm,
knew. And they
right.
said, "You got to stop saying there was a little girl you knew. It was you, wasn't it?" And of course,
Hmm.
I gained the confidence to then talk about it. And I started doing podcast interviews about 2 months prior to my book being published. And I gained the confidence to speak up, not only for myself, but for those that, like myself, don't have the confidence to
Mm,
speak up, or again, just like me, fear of being judged, especially by their families.
right. Wow, that's a very powerful opening. Thank you so much for sharing, because what you're talking about is about sharing your voice, sharing your story. And there are many people who don't have the confidence to share their story, to tell about their life, because I believe all our experiences, good and bad, they're not just for us, but they're for someone else. And we can really help someone because they may be going through the same things. So it's so amazing that you had the confidence, and that after that time you were able to share your story, both written and verbally, so that the world could know what happened to Regina and the little ladybug. So thank you so much for sharing that beautiful opening. So I just want to go ahead and get right into it. Why do you believe public speaking is a crucial skill for business professionals today?
Because it shows confidence, but
Hmm.
it also shows that they have the ability, and possibly they learned that skill, to speak what they believe. Everyone has a story and everyone has a message, whether it's a professional message at the workplace
Hmm.
or a personal message that you want to bring forward so other people can learn from what you have to teach them or from your experience. It's a voice. It's a way of saying you're not alone.
Hmm.
You are enough, which I had to learn to tell myself. I'm jumping ahead a little bit, how speaking up changed my mind. But and I'll touch on that towards the end to
Hmm.
leave a message with everyone. But it's a way of bringing forward your passion,
Hmm.
whether it's about a product that you believe in, or about a feeling, or about a way of living.
Right. And right. And the thing is, if you keep that to yourself, if you keep it a secret, then no one will know. And that's the thing. I've always said in my talks, that what's the richest place on earth? And it's the graveyard, because so many people die with their gifts, they die with their stories,
Right.
so many things, their passions. And so you can be the best thing since sliced bread, or you can have so much to offer and share with the world, and can really impact many lives. But if you don't open your mouth and speak, then no one will know. If you don't share your story, no one will know. So that is crucial. So I'm glad you brought that aspect up. We definitely all have a story that or a message to tell. And it doesn't have to be something big or major, but at the end of the day, if it's important to us, then it's important to someone else as well. And so we just never know who we can help. or who we can impact, who we can even change their lives without sharing our story. So thanks for that insight. So my second question is, can you share a personal experience where effective public speaking significantly impacted your career or business?
Yes, so like I said before, when I began to tell publicly my story,
Hmm.
I lifted this burden that I kept for so many years, and I actually have people tell me, "Oh, you love the attention." No,
Hmm.
it's not about that. It's
No.
about being confident to be free, to live the life that you deserve and the life that you envision for yourself, to
Right.
live your best life. And I
Absolutely.
call it the art of well being, the art
Mhm.
of living well. It doesn't matter what it is that you do as long as you enjoy it because you're free emotionally to be who you are. And before, I was always the person that said, "Oh, I'll do it after Christmas. Oh, I'll do it next summer. Oh,
Mhm.
I'll do it when I have more money. Oh, I'll do it when I don't have to work two jobs." No, the time is now.
Yes.
You have to do it now, whether it's to plant a garden or to go on a trip or
Mhm.
to buy that new car or whatever it is or switch jobs. You have to do it now, and
Yes.
by learning to speak, you might be missing out on a promotion,
Mhm.
you may be missing out on a an opportunity. It's not
Right.
just a job or a marriage or a relationship with a family member. It's everything. It's what you
Yeah.
love. And if you
Absolutely.
speak effectively,
Mhm.
you can pretty much get anything you need or you want if
Yeah.
you set boundaries
Mhm.
and you communicate what it is that you need for yourself. You don't have to say, "I need this." You, in your mind, you know you need it, and you communicate that effectively to those that are in your circle,
Mhm.
and people will listen. If you do more of this and less of this,
Mhm.
people will listen more.
Absolutely. And I love that how you said that, the time is now. And it is. We think we have all this time in the world. We like to postpone and say when this is better, that is better. Let's just face it, some things may never change, but we have the power to shape our futures and change the trajectory of our life. But we have
Yes,
to make that decision to open our mouths, to speak, to make that change. And like you said, when you shared your story, you felt a burden lift. And so many people are walking around burdened. They are, heavy, downtrodden because they are pretty much pretending or they're holding back. They're not really articulating what they want or what they need. And that's not just, at the workplace, that's for their jobs, their businesses, their relationships. Effective communication can help us in every aspect of our life.
that's
We
right.
have to be able to articulate what it is we want and need. Nobody's a mind reader. And so if you never say anything, you can have the best idea at your job, you can have the best idea for your business, or even a good way to help your relationship or your family or whatever the case is. It could be something about, how we're going to share Thanksgiving dinner this year or
That's
how we're
right.
going to do Christmas. It doesn't matter. If you don't open your mouth and let the world or let your family or let who's close to you know, then nothing can change. And so you're walking around internalizing it, carrying it, smiling and pretending like you're happy and you're okay when deep down you're suffering. And that's not good for yourself. And so stress is real and stress kills as well. So
That's
how many
right.
people are giving themselves heart attacks or strokes or, just depressed and have all this mental health issues because they won't speak up. They won't share their thoughts and feelings and they're afraid of how people are going to receive it. And I like to tell people it's not really up to you to decide how that person takes whatever you have to say. This is my present. This is my gift. And so either you accept it or not, but it is my job to give it. And if I give it from a pure place and if I share what I need to share, then of course I'll do it in a way that is the best I can. But ultimately, it's not up to you to decide how they receive the message. You just give it to them, do it from a place of kindness and how the chips fall or how they fall. But we have to learn to speak up for ourselves more than anything. Nobody's gonna be able to speak up for you but you. Nobody knows what you're thinking and feeling but you. And so
That's
it's up
right.
to you to share that. So thank you so much for sharing that. So my third question is, what are some common public speaking challenges that business professionals face and how can they overcome them?
The first is probably fear of being judged.
Oh yeah.
You might have a person who's very shy and it's difficult for them. Watch out for them, because once they find that way of communicating, they love it, and you will never think they were shy at first. But
Right.
fear of being judged, fear of making a mistake
Mm-hmm.
on stage or in public.
Mm-hmm.
And what they don't realize is that the person that is listening to them is there for the message, not there if they're going to make a mistake or they're going to say, oh, I forgot what I was going to say, I lost my train of thought. They don't care about that. In fact, they admire that because it shows that you are a real person. You
Right.
didn't just study a script and now you're going to talk about it. You're a real person. Sometimes, especially if you're a little nervous, you might forget what you were going to say. But they need to, like I did, they need to learn first that they don't speak effectively, possibly because they either have self doubt
Mm-hmm.
or they're afraid that their message is not strong enough.
Mm.
And that's the skill that they need to learn. And a lot of that starts, for me, it started at home, looking in the mirror
Mm-hmm.
and saying, you are enough.
Absolutely.
And I had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, I had to do that when I started my own healing.
Mm-hmm.
And I still do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to a lot of I am um, videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, at first I was uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
saying I am anything. I just couldn't say it. I didn't know that I didn't know how to love, and I didn't know how to be loved.
Mm.
And the first person that I had to learn to love was me, the
Yep.
person that I am. And I'm not talking about on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about in the inside. When
Mm-hmm.
you think of who you are, and do you really love who you are? Do you love how you live your life? Do you love what you do?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself like other people see you?
Yeah.
And for me, that would be what I would tell everyone that may not be ready to go on stage, or people that fear of public speaking. I believe it's like one of the top
It is.
something, the
Yes.
top five, or
Fear.
whatever,
Yeah.
at least top 10 fears of people that people have is fear of public speaking.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And you find it sometimes people in uniform are not afraid to speak, but you take that uniform off, that's it. They can't, because
Mm-hmm.
they use that the uniform as a confident key for them to speak up. But we should look inside of our minds and see, okay, what am I afraid of? Why
Right.
am I afraid of being judged? I had to deal with my own family,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately sometimes we cannot ask family members for advice, or ask family members to watch something that they did and give them feedback, or even read something they wrote, because
Mm-hmm.
family members are going to be the worst critics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true.
And if you ask them, you have to be ready.
Yeah.
I find it that my number one fans are people that I've met in the last couple of years.
Wow.
I
That's
have a handful of friends that love everything I do, and
mhm.
they've been my rock.
Good.
But when it comes to people that known me for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
they shy away from me now. They don't associate with me,
Mm-hmm.
and they watch everything I do. I know they do,
Mm-hmm.
but there's never a compliment or never a comment. And that's okay. I'm all right with that. It was
Mm-hmm.
difficult for me to accept my own family
Mm-hmm.
not accepting me now or supporting what I do. But what I did was I took a very pretty box and I opened the box up and I put all the beautiful memories in that box
Mm-hmm.
and I put it up on the shelf, and
Yeah.
they're filed right now. And I don't engage or do anything that doesn't serve me in terms of the criticism.
Wow. Well, you gave a loaded answer, so I'm going to try to do a quick recap. But the key thing is many people do fear being judged. And it really doesn't matter, what the topic. A lot of people just really think people are going to tear them apart. And at
Yes.
the end of the day, I think a lot of it is we overthink sometimes. Sometimes, yes, we will get judged, but sometimes, people are not thinking about us as much as we think they are, especially if I'm giving a speech. The people in my audience may be thinking about what they're going to have for dinner tonight, or is the dry cleaners going to be open when they go by, or something they have to do for their children or their own needs. So a lot of times, a lot of the fears are things that we are worried about. Sometimes don't even happen. So sometimes we talk ourselves out of opportunities and situations because we're thinking the worst, and sometimes what we think about may never ever even happen. So we have to, like you said earlier, get to the root of why we fear in certain things, or why does somebody's opinion matter so much. And after we get through that, the history or the trauma of why we think or feel a certain way, then we can move forward. But yes, sometimes, our families are not going to support us, or sometimes the people we really care about don't support us. So let's say you're on a new journey to become a speaker, or to become an author, or to become, a business person, open your own business, or to be a leader at the job. Sometimes people don't want to see you rise above. They don't want to see you do better than what they are used to you doing. They want to keep
Right.
you in the box. Or they don't want to see you getting healed or being your best self because it shows a light that they're not their best selves and that they aren't healed and they got a lot of work to do. So you elevating makes them feel where they're lacking. But we can't allow family, friends, or people who won't support us stop us on our journey. So if you want to be a better speaker, don't allow your family and friends or whoever, what they may think or say because you're taking a course to better yourself, allow that negativity to stop your progress. Because some people want you to stay stuck. They don't want to see you be your best self. They don't want to see you on stages, speaking to millions of people, or writing your book, or telling your story, or making money doing something you love. They don't want to see that. So you can't allow other people's thoughts or feelings stop you
Right.
on your journey to be your best self. You have to overcome that challenge of judgment, of fear, of messing up. Like you said, we're all human. And
Right.
so if you make a mistake, that's okay. Correct yourself, do what you got to do, but keep going. Don't allow that to stop you because nobody's perfect. And, we are human, so things will happen, but you can have your notes. You can have things that are in place to help prevent as many mistakes as possible. But ultimately, you just got to get out there and do it, and you got to practice. And that's with anything you do. You can't expect to be flawless and perfect or just execute it with no issues the first time you do it. But the more you do it, the more your confidence is going to build, and the better you're going to get, the more confident you're going to get. And then certain things start becoming second nature. It becomes a part of who you are because you know it now. You're not remembering something, but it's a part of who you are. So when you get your story down pat, when you get your message down pat, and you get whatever it is you want to share to the world down in your soul and your spirit, then even if you lose your space, you'll get back on track because this is who you are now. This is a part of your message. And so the only way you're going to get to that level is by making the decision or choice to do it. And then you got to continue to refine, continue to get better,
Yes.
continue to get a team of people because you said it. You do have friends or people who support you in what you do. And that's all that matters. I
Yes.
believe in quality over quantity. So I'll say
Yes.
it again. It's better to have good quality people around you than have a lot of people around you. And I even give this analogy. I'd rather have 4 quarters or 10 dimes than 100 pennies. So you think about that. You
That's
want
right.
people who have value, who have worth, who can help you, who can be objective sounding board to help you in this journey. You don't want people who are just going to be negative, who are going to withdraw, take, but never pour back into you and never give to you. So yeah, we have to be mindful of who we share our dreams with, who we share our next steps with. And I'm a firm believer of I can show you better than I can tell you. So I don't have to necessarily make a big announcement, but trust me, when the website's up, when the things are in place, when the book is written, then you'll see it.
Right.
And it's done. So it doesn't matter whether you support me or not, because you're not going to stop what I already got in motion. You're not going to stop what God has already had planned for my life. So
That's
that was
right.
excellent. That was so good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And my last question, I can't believe our time is winding down, is what is one essential tip you would give to someone looking to improve their public speaking skills?
Well, I touched on that a little bit, so I'm going to be say it again. You have to go to the mirror and
Hmm.
you have to look at yourself and discover who you really are inside. what other people have said you are, or how you felt for a number of years possibly, is not who you are. Who you are is that person that lives inside, that has a strong message. And if you feel shy or if you have self-doubt, you have to learn to say, I am enough.
Mhm.
I am strong. I am confident. I know how to do this. And then you have to bring the message to the people with confidence,
Mhm.
and stay on track, stay on course. And eventually you will find the route that you need to take that is the most suitable for you to deliver
Mhm.
your message. And that's what I've done.
That's beautiful. And I like how you said first start by looking at the person in the mirror. You
Yes,
have to believe it. We believe what we tell ourselves more than anybody else in the world. So whatever record you have playing, that's what you're going to believe. So if you don't like the messages playing, then you need to stop that tape,
yes,
stop that record, and play a new message. And I love how you said basically affirmations. You have to
yes,
find strong affirmations that are going to build you up, that are going to put the new message into your spirit. And
yes,
it's all about confidence. It's all about, hey, I have a new day. This is a new journey. This is a new opportunity for me to become better. And I have something priceless to share. I have something that it can change lives. And I have to believe that and then stand up with confidence and share that message. And so with practicing, with those affirmations, with that, continual positive self-talk, then yes, you can become a great speaker. You can become a great whatever you want to become. Because this concept, what we're talking about today, is not just for public speaking, but this is for life in general. We
yes,
all need to make sure that we're encouraging ourselves, that we are believing in ourselves, and that we're putting our best foot forward with whatever we want to accomplish or with whatever we want to do. And so it starts with us believing in ourselves, looking in the mirror, because our whole life, the one person that we're going to be with more than anybody else is ourselves.
that's right.
So we got to learn to love ourselves. And whether we like it or not, this is who we are. This is the life we have. So if you need to get counseling, need to get therapy, then do that to help if you had some trauma or some things going on. But ultimately, we got to kind of deal with the cards we've been dealt and make the best of the situation, because I told someone earlier, this isn't a dress rehearsal. We only have one life to live.
That's
So
right.
we have to make the best out of it. And we all have different things that have not gone the way we wanted them to go. We've all have our issues, our struggles, but
Yes,
ultimately, what are we going to do with this? Are we going to sulk? Are we going to stay stuck? Or are we going to find the power and find the beauty in starting over, finding the beauty in our ashes and being able to move forward and build a new life? Because what I
right.
like to see is at any moment you can rewrite your story. We don't have to stick with that same message just because that's what was given to us from our parents or what we grew up with or a past relationship or whatever we've endured. At any moment, I can start over. I can say, I don't want this to continue like this has been going. I want a new path. And I don't have to wait till a new year to do it. I don't have to wait to write me some New Year's resolutions. I can make a new story, a new journey, a new resolution today and start over. And so that's what we need to do. So your story today, your message has really empowered me even more. And I hope it empowered the viewers, which I'm sure it did. That guess what? Share your story. Share whatever it is you need to share, make the necessary changes, but start in the mirror first. Look at yourself. If you don't like where you are, if you don't like the way things are going in your life, make a decision to be around some people who can help you get to where you need to be. No man is an island. We're not meant to do this journey alone. We're not meant to have to do all this by ourselves, and we shouldn't. There are coaches like myself that can help with speaking. There are coaches for all types of things. There are therapists. There's ways to get help. There's ways to get better, but we have to make the decision to want to do that.
That's right. And one other thing that I'd like to leave everyone with, because this is a problem in a lot of people's lives, they have a person or a family or a group of friends or whoever it may be that is the negative force in their lives, and they feel paralyzed because either I don't want to single anybody out, but a lot of times it's a spouse or
Mm,
either an older sibling or parents or whoever is in their lives that maybe uh, negative or maybe telling them that they're not good enough. the first thing that they need to do is learn how to disengage from that person or that group.
Yes.
You do not need anyone's approval to be a decent human being and live your best life.
Right.
And you don't have to leave your spouse or you don't have to cut relations with your parents. You just need to learn not to engage.
Mm.
When you disengage and feed in them what they're looking for, which is to keep you down, you don't have to
Mm.
defend yourself. You don't have to explain why you want to do a new job or you want to speak about anything or why you want to write a book. Go ahead and do it. You
Yep.
don't need approval because you're not in first grade and you don't have to raise your hand to speak.
Right. I love that. Perfect. That's right. Disengage. We
Yes.
don't need permission. And that's what a lot of us are waiting. We're waiting for permission from family and friends or even
Uh-uh.
opportunities. We're waiting for permission for someone to say, yeah, come on my show. Yeah, you can do this. Yeah, start this. No, if you want to do something, do it. Start your own
Right.
platform. Start your own business. Start your own podcast. Write your
Right.
own book. Create your own event. Stop waiting for people to invite you to come on their shows or invite you to be on their panel. You create your summit, you create your event, and you invite people. You
That's right.
control the narrative. So let's stop giving people the power to
That's
make
right.
or break us, and we hold the power. If it's something you
Yes.
want, you start it. You start the group. You start the organization. You
Right.
get that LLC. You get that nonprofit. Whatever the case is, you start it, and then you invite others. Stop waiting for people to invite you or give you permission. So that was great. We need to hold our power. And from earlier, if you watched earlier's video, the person said, be bold. Dr. Griselda kept saying, be bold, be bold. And that's
Yes.
right. We all need to be bold. We need to be audacious. We need to go after what we want and do it with power, with passion, and with tenacity. Because guess what? We don't know how long we're going to be here.
That's right.
I would love to live to be 100, and that's what I'm aiming for. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep working hard and I'm going to keep doing what I got to do because time waits on no one. And we can blink, and before we know it, we'll be in another year, or, time is not waiting. So we have to get moving. If it's something we want, start waiting on permission and disengage from the people who are not supporting you, who are not helping you. Don't even play into it because
That's
we
right.
have more power than we realize. We have to take our power back.
And that's a skill that I need to learn.
Right, right. It's
And
not
all
easy.
goes to, we have two of these and one of these. So
Mhm.
speak less, do not engage, do not be mean, do not be rude, be
Right.
sweet and kind, and say, not today.
I know that's right. Not today. Not today, devil. Let me stop. But not today. That's right. You don't have to participate. Just because somebody invites you to their pity party or
That's right.
their whatever, you don't have to take the invitation. You don't have to go everywhere you're invited. And that's physically, literally, and verbally, no matter however it is. You don't have to answer every phone call. You don't have to, respond to every email. Like, you don't have to allow people's toxicity to come into your life. You can
Right.
control that. You can cut it off. And sometimes you have to love people from a distance. And that's hard for some of us, but you have to just learn how to protect your peace, protect your heart. And if you have a gift inside that you need to birth, the time is of the essence. Nurture your gift, nurture yourself, and get working, get moving because the world needs you. There are people assigned to you based off of what you have to give. And when you holding back by you not doing that, by you not walking into your gift, you're not allowing some people to get to their next level because your story was going to help them. But because you didn't share it, they are stuck.
Right.
So, how many people are assigned to you that you're not even able to help because you're not being obedient and moving forward with the gift that God gave you?
That's
So,
right.
that's so beautiful. So, Regina, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here with me today. I really, really loved our conversation.
Yes, me
It was so
too.
great to talk with you. And I want you to tell everyone how they can stay in contact or how they can follow you, how they can support what you have going on, and how to even buy your book and the name of your book. Share all of that.
Okay, so the name of my book is Shayla. And you can find my book obviously on Amazon, Shayla by Regina LaFrance, or you can buy it directly from me and I will send out you a signed copy. And it's lafrancemedia.com. So LaFrance, LA, France like the country, media.com. You can read my story, you can watch my book trailer, and you can purchase the book there. I will mail you one signed by me. And my newest thing now is the Ladybug Movement Foundation. You can, I started it just a short 3 or 4 months ago. It's all approved, it's ready to go. I'm accepting donations. You can find the Ladybug Movement Foundation on Facebook. You can also find me on Facebook, Regina LaFrance on Facebook, and you can find the Shayla page also on Facebook. We all linked. So any donation is truly appreciated. Any book that you buy now for the next couple months, all the proceeds going into the foundation, and any monies donated to the foundation are going to go to help children this coming Christmas. We are going to buy toys, and we are going to buy feminine products for women. We're going to hit the streets, and we're going to help any person that may need our help.
Mm.
And I'm going back to Exuma with Dr. Shanique with Leah's Hopes and
Woo!
Dreams in December. We are now together, working diligently to raise money to bring 50 bikes to give to boys and girls. And the best part of it all is I came back with this divine love for God that I learned from you and everyone that did the mission trip with us. And I got home and told all that happened to my husband. And this is a person that does not travel. He supports me on anything, but he does not travel. He's going to Exuma with myself and Dr. Shanique in December.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I can't believe it. He's all
Wow.
in. He's all in. He wants to go experience what we experience. And
Oh,
he's eager to raise money to bring the bikes to these children. And I am just blessed beyond.
that's
And
amazing.
yes, we are excited to do this, and we want to really help the children. Right now, it's toys at Christmas time because I believe if a child doesn't have toys at Christmas, that will definitely affect that child.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's something that I want to do between now and Christmas time is to raise as much as possible. So anyone that has $10, $20, $25, whatever anyone can give will be greatly appreciated. And it's not for me, it's for the children and for those that are on the streets that are in great need of hygiene products and feminine products and whatever else we can get.
Wow, that's amazing. So you all heard it here. I'm going to get the links from Regina because this is a worthy cause. So definitely you want to buy her book, Shayla. You want to support that, follow all of her pages, and you want to definitely support the Lady Brog Foundation, support with
Yes,
that. And then also help with how you heard she's going to Exuma this December. We just came back in August, but she's going back. So that's twice in 1 year because she was so moved with helping the people there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it myself. I'm not gonna be able to make it back in December, but definitely, I'm gonna do my part because yes, there are 50 children who need, would love to have a bike, this December. So we're
yes,
gonna try to help Shanique with her foundation or her nonprofit organization,
yes,
Leah's Hopes and Dreams. And so, wow, this is so good. So again, thank you so much, Regina, for coming on and sharing your story, being so brave and so passionate about helping the children and helping others who are in need. And again, you have many ways to help and support her. And then also stay on the lookout for Model Speakers Academy launching. The webinar is coming up soon. You definitely want to tune in.
yes.
And I have another great conversation happening tomorrow with public speaking and business. So you want to tune in for that as well. So thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night. And make sure you click these links and support Regina and all of her efforts. Have a good night.